Hi, my name is Eljay Williams Jr., and you are watching my interview for Rufus Dysfunctional Family. Check it out.
Hello, everyone. We are here with the writer, director, and producer of Rufus Dysfunctional Family. Hello, Eljay Williams. We are so glad to have you.
So glad to be
How are
here.
you today?
I am doing amazing. I'm doing so great. Thank you for having me today.
We want to talk to you a little bit about this production. Might I add, I had the opportunity to see, and it was amazing.
Thank you.
I really can't explain. It was honest, true, controversial, debatable, anything that one could feel or go through during a production. I believe I went through during this production. So my first question is, how was it writing this production?
Well, good question. Everything that you went through when it came to the controversial, the debate, all of that, I went through as I was writing it. It was a very long process. It actually took me about 2 years to write the production because it was so heavy in regards to all those many different things. And I would write for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and then I'll put it down. I'll pick it back up and write some more, and then I'll put it back down, because every time it became so heavy, I had to get a moment to breathe, because it was so true and so real and so heavy. I just wanted to make sure that I had a moment to take it in before I kept writing, so that it would be effective. So the writing process was tedious. It was definitely tedious. And in fact, God gave me the message years ago. He said, write it, and I kept putting it down to write. And it was just about 6 months ago, he said, I want you to complete this, because the world needs to hear this. The world needs to see this. And it's going to help so many people and change so many people. And so I decided to say yes, Lord. And in the midst of me saying yes, it was done.
Okay, awesome. Now, while writing, how important was it for you to stay true to yourself while staying true to the art?
It was very important. It was hard to do as well, but anytime that you're wanting to be an effective writer, it's very important to stay true to who you are. And my truth aspect is the fact that I am a child of God. And at the end of the day, the moral of all my stories are going to lead back to Christ, because I am a child of God. I was raised in the church, and that's the moral that I was brought up on. The art aspect is totally different, because you in order to reach a mass audience, you have to always make sure that you are giving both perspectives. In any piece of work, there are always two perspectives, or many more perspectives. You want to always make sure that you're giving those perspectives, because it's going to help tell the story, and it's going to help to shed light on the story and make it a lot better. The thing that I really hate is when artists, I do consider myself an artist, they write on one perspective. That's not life. Life is many different perspectives. You have many different people who think many different type of ways, who feel many different type of ways. And so in order to be effective, people like to see real. They don't like to see fake. And if they do like to see fake, it's only for a moment. People want real, or people want something that could possibly be true. So it's very important for me to make sure that I keep the aspect of my faith in, while at the same time telling many different perspectives, understanding that there is both good and evil. There is sin and there is deliverance. There is righteousness and holiness, and there is sex and drugs and homosexuality. There are so many different aspects to life, and I want to make sure that I share all those many different perspectives, and I believe that I did.
So when was that moment when you knew exactly, I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, that you had heard from God and that this was something that you were supposed to do? I mean, was it during the writing process? Was it during the audition process? When was that moment when you just knew you heard from God?
It was not the writing process. I heard from God during the writing process, and I knew I heard from God, but the moment when I actually knew that I was headed in the right direction, doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing, was at the audition process, when I held auditions, because every single person that walked into that audition room brought it, whether it was they brought it vocally, musically, whether they brought it as far as their code reads were concerned. Every single person brought it, and it was made it so hard for myself and my team to make a decision on who we were gonna have in the production. Some people I chose because they were really, really strong in their reading. Some people I chose because they were really strong when it came to vocally. But I wanted to have a diverse, crowd. And when I tell you, that's when I knew I was on track at that very moment. And then every single step after that, it seemed like every single thing just fell into place. When I needed the money, God gave me a $10,000 budget. He said, this production is going to be a $10,000 budget. I said, okay, cool. I don't have $10,000. Where's this money going to come from? And he said, don't hold back with anything that you need. Anything that you need, I will provide. You get it. I said, okay. So when it came to radio, when it came to the TV commercial that was on VH1 and entertainment TV, when it came to the marketing material, the costume, and whatever it came to, we had, and sponsors pulled in at the last minute. Some sponsors backed out, but no matter what, we never missed a deadline. We always had the deadline met, and at that moment, I knew for a given fact that I was doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing.
And that seemed like a really long process, or a lot going on. Like, how long was the planning process from start to finish?
It took about 8 months. 8 months from the first time that my board met. I have a board of now 9 individuals that cover everything from marketing to sponsorship. My financial director, I have a personal assistant, a stylist. I have a whole team of individuals, and we started meeting back in, I want to say it was, June, February, March, April. I think it was June, somewhere along that. No, April. We started meeting 8 months ago. And during that time when we were meeting, we were planning the audition process. We planned the whole thing from start to finish at that moment. Then we started auditioning. After auditioning, we had like a month in between the audition and the first time that we began to meet for rehearsals. Then we started rehearsing. From rehearsals, we started doing photo shoots, commercial shoots. We were steady meeting as far as the board was concerned. We had the marketing material done probably a good 2 months or a month in advance before we even started putting anything out. We then started the marketing process, and we started going setting up interviews. I mean, it was a really, really well thought out process. So, yeah, it took about 8 months from start to finish.
Now, on a personal note, I know this is more about the production, but, speaking of LJ, the director, the writer, the producer, outside of all of that, because it seems like you work extremely hard, when do you find time to actually sit back and enjoy the results and take in everything that has taken place? Or have you even done that yet?
Yeah. No, actually, I haven't. There's always a deadline. I have so much going on in my head all the time, so I'm always thinking about what's the next thing after this. In fact, while I'm in the middle of a production, I've already started a whole nother production or already started planning for something else because my mind is always moving ahead of the current production, that I'm in. So it takes, I have to literally stop myself and pull away in order to get a break, because I don't only do this production, work. I have a full-time job still currently. I haven't come off of my full-time job as of yet. It is coming very soon. But I still work a full-time job. Constantly, in rehearsals with ministry and in a meeting, and then outside of work and then church, I'm doing this. And this is a full-time job as well, because there's no hours set on this for me. If I get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because God has given me a vision, I get up and I get to write. So I'm constantly going. So there's really not a lot of time that I have to take anything in. My friends tell me all the time, oh, you need to come out, you need to kick it, you need to have a good time. And I will every now and then, because I do believe that there has to be a balance in life. But at the same token, I'd rather work hard now, play later. That's how I look at it, because I definitely want to be able to one day sit back and reap the benefits of all of my hard work. But in order to get to that point, I have to work hard now. And the Bible even speaks about that. While in season, I need to make sure that I'm storing up for when we're in the winter season. And in the same aspect, that's how I look at my life. I have to work hard now so that later I can reap the benefits. So I haven't even taken in what has taken place with the November 13th and 14th show, because after we got out of that show weekend, we were back in preparing, doing photo shoots and having meetings and preparing for the next show, which we'll try to present to you all January 8th and 9th. So there's always something going on. Maybe you all can help me with that. Y'all can throw me a big party, and then I can pull away. But other than that, I get enjoyment out of it. So as long as I get enjoyment out of it, I'm good.
Well, we definitely see your hard work and we notice it. In fact, you are so amazing at what you do. I personally feel like you are doing for KC what Tyler Perry has done for Atlanta. And I'm sure that you get that comparison a lot to Tyler Perry. How does that make you feel when someone compares you to him?
It's a compliment. It is. It's definitely a compliment because, Tyler is great at what he does. He has literally taken the South and has transformed it into pretty much Black Hollywood, as they say. But he's great at what he does. So to have someone say that to you, it means a lot. It really, really does. But I want people at one point to just be able to accept my work for what it is, and accept LJ for what it is, and appreciate my work. There was an analogy that was used a long time ago, and it was, there are millions of stars in the sky, and you are only called to be one of those stars. You only have to shine as bright as you can shine. You can only do as much as you can do. And I say that to say that Tyler Perry can only do Tyler Perry, and nobody can beat Tyler at doing him. Just like nobody can beat LJ at doing LJ. So that's why I don't have to worry about not supporting the next man. I don't have to worry about lending my helping hand for someone else, because at the end of the day, that's their vision, and their vision is going to prosper in the way that they're supposed to prosper. My vision is going to prosper in the way that it's supposed to prosper. At the end of the day, there's somebody that needs LJ's ministry or work or body of work, just like there's people that need Tyler's. And however that grows and wherever that goes, then God bless. God bless. But yeah, I'm so grateful to Tyler, because Tyler is like a huge motivation to me. And he is a huge role model, and I've had an opportunity to be on set with Tyler before. You know, he didn't know I was there, but I was there. I was working behind the scenes, and I'm sure that I have an opportunity to work with him and meet him personally, face to face, and we are going to work together. So get ready, Tyler, because Rufus is going to meet Medea.
Awesome. So you just did 3 shows, November 13th and 14th, which is just a month ago, this weekend. And now you're back, or coming back to do 2 more, January 8th and the 9th. Now, is this something that you had planned all along, or was this, or did this come about based off of the response from the audience?
Both actually. Originally, my board, we planned on doing the show again. We didn't know exactly when we were going to do the show, but we did plan on doing the show again. After that weekend, we had so many great responses. We had some controversial responses. People that were like, oh my gosh, there was just so much going on. But we love both the good and the bad, or the good and the not so good. I don't believe there's bad comments. You know, that's why you write. You write to ruffle feathers. You write to spark conversation, and that's exactly what happened. But getting off subject, we decided shortly after that we wanted to go ahead and bring it back in January. That gave everyone to make it through the holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the New Year, and then after the New Year, we would come back and do the other shows. Because there were people that were like, oh my God, I hate I missed it, or oh, I wish I could have made it. And then some people that did come and say, I want to see it again. Like, I will see that again and again and again. And so we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back, and we're ready to take it and do it all over again. So yeah.
Kansas City, are you ready for the next big stage play? If so, then meet Rufus and his dysfunctional family. And like any family, they have their secrets. But I do believe they love each other. Or at least care about each other. Oh, who am I kidding? They're crazy. But you have to see it for yourself. Rufus Dysfunctional Family, November 13th and 14th. Get your tickets at ticketriver.com.
So you're going on tour.
Yes.
Do you already have the tour dates set up, the lineup, the places that you're going, or is that still in the works?
Myself and my board, we have been speaking briefly about it, and I have to apologize to my board because I throw things so much on them all at once, and it's just like I go from one extreme to the next because I have, again, so much in my head. But I have an idea and a platform of where I want to go, or a blueprint of where I want to go. But I'm very secretive when it comes to my plans, or I'm not gonna say secretive. I'm private when it comes to my plans because, one, I think the surprise effect works and goes over very well with the audience when they're on the edge of their seats waiting, what's next. And then two, although I have a lot of supporters, I still have enemies, or people that don't support me. People that say they support me, but they're waiting to see me fall. They're waiting to see something not work out. So I don't like to put certain things out because I don't want to give the enemy an opportunity to sabotage anything that I'm doing. So yes, we're going on tour. The tour name and the tour idea and the places we're going, I haven't put that out yet. When it's time, everyone will know. Everyone will know where we'll be going. It'll be out in enough time for people to get tickets, for people to know that we're coming and things like that. But yeah, that's kind of still in the works. Let's just say it's going to be in 2016 when we're going to start the tour. Early 2016. Enough.
Well, I just want to let you know that I love what you do. I love what you're doing for the community. I love your messages in your productions and everything that you speak on. It is so true. And so often, especially, when people are writing in the church, they tend to water down the truth. So my last question for you with this is, what made you want to do this and then do this the way that you did in regards to trying to reach the church?
It was never my intention to not reach the church. In fact, I did the complete opposite. I started to reach out to the church, and I don't understand really, especially the black church, but the black churches are so competitive, to where you reach out for help and you reach out to have something to bring communities together and bring churches together and bring a body together to tell a message. And it's like, oh, well, if my name is not on it, then, I'm not going to support it, or they want you to change certain things about it. And I refuse to change anything about my production. I just refuse to, because I know that it was sent from God. Okay? And so I'm not changing it. I'm not going to change the message. I'm not going to change the profanity. I'm not going to change the extreme content, because that's real, that's life. And so once I started realizing that my audience was not actually the church, and what I mean by my audience not being the church is it's really hard for church folk, to sit down and be still long enough to receive truth, because they've been so conditioned to just shout, to dance, to listen to the music, to go through all the acts of the church, and then when it's time to actually sit down and get the word, to apply the word, to process the word, and then to swallow the word, chew it, and live it, it's really, really hard to do for people. And I've come to understand that the church, in a sense, is already lost, if that makes any sense. So now I'm reaching out for people who want it and people who are hungry. And really, the truth of the matter is, the world wants truth. The fact is, they don't want to get it from the church, because they've seen and they've come to understand that the church are hypocrites. The church are going to judge you. The church are going to, they're going to talk about you instead of embrace you and then speak truth upon embracing. God is the only one that can do changing. God is the only one that can deliver, can save. And so often, you get the church who does the complete opposite of what it is that God is really wanting us to do. Ooh, I know I am going to get it for this. But I'm just speaking truth. It just really is what it is. So at the end of the day, I begin to reach out for a different audience. And, since people compare me to Tyler, or like to say I'm kind of in the same vein as Tyler, the church folk are not Tyler's audience. Now, they are extra. So if the church folk come, that's amazing. The church folk support, that's amazing. Those are people that are ready to receive truth. But that's not his ultimate audience, if that makes any sense. So it was never my intention. It was never ever once my intention to not market to the church. It's just after doing it, I realized that the church is not my major supporters. And until they prove me wrong, that's what I'm standing on, and that's what I'm believing. the church has, the church folk can be such of the most critical and judgmental folk. The church folk don't want to receive the truth because they want to brush it up under the rug and act like it's never existed. They want to act like they're not preachers that are sleeping with women in the church. They want to act like there's not homosexuality going on in the church. They want to act like there's not drugs that are still present in your members. Want to act like that the church is not a business. They try to brush so much under the rug as if it doesn't exist, trying to brainwash people because they're afraid of losing members. They're afraid of not getting the tithes that they want. Instead of doing exactly just what God has told you to do and let all that other stuff happen. And I know I'm going on a rant, but yeah, you asked, so there it is.
So viewers, you have heard it yourself. Everything that Eljay Williams Jr. and Eljay Williams Jr. Entertainment is doing. So you have to see this show for yourself if you haven't seen it. You have another opportunity. So if you say that you're a supporter, support this young man doing great things in our community. You have another opportunity to see the show before they go on the road. Now, don't try to say that you are a big supporter and then you didn't have an opportunity to support this young man because I'm sure that he's going to make it big. I just see it. He's going to make it big. And you don't want to say that you didn't have an opportunity to support him. So, Eljay, tell all the viewers one last time when the show is, where it's going to be, how they can get tickets, all those many different things.
Okay. We're doing Rufus Dysfunctional Family again, the same show. So, for people that have already seen it, if you want to come see it again, bring a friend who hasn't seen it, then come on out. We would love to see your face again. This time it's going to be at a different location. It's going to be at Just Off Broadway Theater, which is right in the Penn Valley Park. Penn Valley? Yeah, Penn Valley Park, right off of Wyandotte. You can see the flyer at the end of the video. It is, has all the information on there as well. And that is January 8th and 9th. That's a Friday and that's a Saturday, okay? And this is 2016, guys, okay? So you can get your tickets at LJWilliamsJrEntertainment.net. I know that's long, but again, it's on the flyer. Or you can just get it the night at the door. Now, the issue with getting it the night at the door is there is only a few seats, okay? And so we're in a much intimate theater this time, so we just want to make sure that you have an opportunity to see it if you haven't gotten a chance to see it. Again, because once we hit the road, we are hitting the road, and our plan is to not return, at least not with this production, okay? So make sure you come see it again January 8th and 9th at the Just Off Broadway Theater, Rufus Dysfunctional Family.
Well, Eljay, we thank you so very much for taking the time to just speak to us and give us a little back-end story on all the many things that you have going on. I am so blessed to just have the opportunity to speak to you because I know that God is going to do so many great things for you in your life. And right now, while I have the opportunity to speak, I pray the blessing over your life of the Lord, because we know that the blessing of the Lord maketh thee rich and addeth no sorrow. I also pray that every enemy that has their mouth on you or tries to come against you and attack you, that they would have to eat their own words because you are going somewhere. So again, thank you so very much, and we wish nothing but the best over your life. And I look for the best, the great things to come. And I'm going to be right there front row. We love you, Eljay.
Thank you.